All right, welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show, and excited to be joining you here with on this wonderful Tuesday. And we normally have our guy Bill Bender on Tuesdays. We're going to bump him to Wednesday. We're going to slide up our guy AJ Hockley. I got some travel, some different things going on, and so this was the best way that this is going to work out. So I just wanted to check in on you and see how everything was going on and how you were living in your world.
Bro, my world is absolutely chaos, Bob. So one, I'm getting my Hawk sounds ready to go. Two, we had the Fury in on Monday. They trained Tuesday. They won on Sunday. The Crew, the Blue Jackets, Fury, all winning this weekend. Awesome. They came in. My guy Brian Peters, you know Brian. He came in. He's about ready to go. Where is he going? I think he's going to like North Carolina or Duke with their golf team to do some fire and ice, but like breathing techniques with them and like create this program for them. So that's super cool. But he came in and helped me out.
You want to be my breathing techniques, like you want to get people to learn to control their pulse. Have you ever seen like the Pulp Fiction where you got Jules and he just points a gun at someone and just shoots it over their ear? Like if you can maintain the calm heart rate through that and breathing, like I think that's probably the way to go.
There is one movie
to amplify it to where it's literally a life and death situation, and then we're going to try to perform through it so that everything else will kind of seem inconsequential.
You know what's funny is like, because you know that I don't watch shows, and then I got on True Detective, and Matthew McConaughey was always checking his pulse before he went into a situation to where he could regulate that because he was just snorting a bunch of coke and stuff and had to be like dialed in all the time. Yeah. But anyways, it's been very eventful. And then guess what? We got all sorts of stuff. Then I talked to my girl Erin DeLong down at Rocky Boots. If all you guys go Schlegs, all cap, SCHLEGS 20, you get 20% off all your Rocky Boots. I make nothing. It's all for them, or excuse me, Durango boots. And they're fantastic. They're my favorite cowboy boot. I bought a pair because we have theme nights on the Buckeye Cruise. And one of the theme nights is country. And so I was like, man, I need a new pair of boots. And I got me some Durangos, and they're fantastic. And then it's the Arnold weekend coming up in Columbus,
you're not
Ohio.
Even gonna be here. This is King of the Meatheads, and you're not even going to be here.
I'm on the Buckeye Cruise raising money to kick cancer's butt and mental health awareness. And that's why I got my executive assistant, Miss Danielle, who also, my official title for her is my special ed inclusion teacher. Because that's what she does. Like, honestly, like she keeps me at bay. And then my GM, David, and I'm like, they got it. But we have Wesley Vickers, the defending champ. He comes and uses the facility. We have C-Bum and the boys. Like, they're all coming in from Raw Nutrition. And, we're going to have a bunch of people here training, get bumpy, which then goes into what I don't like in gyms where everybody feels like, because you go to a gym, you just get to have selfie sticks. I am a anti-selfie stick person. There's two reasons. One, what if you get other people in there as you're doing a selfie deal and like they don't want to be in there? So like just appreciate them, right, in your surroundings. And two, what if I don't necessarily want you to be associated with our brand? So I have no problem filming stuff and putting stuff on social, but I'd much rather like, hey, film this squat. Boom. I just film it. Like I hold it, right? Like I don't need to take up anybody else's square footage because when I think of gym, dead serious. When I think of gym, I think of encouraging, right? Like it should be open to where everybody, regardless of where you are on your fitness journey, can be able to come in and have a great time and get better. So encourage other people, go through a life change. Because you and I both know, Bob, like my daughter was driving to Valdosta, Georgia, from Jacksonville, had a flat tire. I trained my daughter extremely hard like an alpha female. I try to put her as in many difficult situations as a dad can and talk her through that, grow her, take her to where she can go be around other adults, but like just understanding how to handle situations and not lose your cool. Boom, flat tire starts to go flat on the highway. She finds the next exit. Boom, goes to the gas station, calls me, looks up, finds that there's a Walmart tire center like 5 seconds down the road, calls them. When do they close? Hey, could you repair my tire? Boom. I'm like, listen, just drive over there. The new air tanks are terrible. They don't even put air out there. So she goes over there, gets her tire fixed. I was like, hey, just put the brand new one in the trunk. It's under warranty. We'll get it taken care of. And then she continues to drive. Like, that's a big moment. But that's what the weight room does. It creates that conflict.
The weight room helps you change time, helps you handle a flat tire. Remember that, folks.
Well, no, it does, man. I think here's the deal. In order to be better, you got to go through friction. You got to go to the depths that you yourself don't want to go. And there's no better way of doing that on a daily basis than in a weight room. Regardless, whether it's on a stair climber and you're rucking on it, or you're going on a ruck, or you're doing a group fitness class, or you're doing some other thing, like, you just got to sharpen yourself and you got to put your body in that state to where, do I really want to go here? Yes, that's where the encouragement comes in. That's the life change that we talk about. And also, just go work. And as opposed to focusing on yourself, appreciate other people's work. Like, I was in there the other day with Beta. She's from Croatia. She's on the Fury team. And I'm like, this one guy was next to us doing the leg press. And he had to grip the handles, man, just a little bit harder. And he got that last rep. I just fist bumped him. I'm like, dude,
inside of a toilet, Schlegs.
I was like, no, that's where you got to go, bro. I was like, great job. Like, that's what I like. Like, to me, that's a gym. That's a community. That's what I want to be about.
Let me ask you this about Faith, because your daughter's she's like a little clone of your personality. Did you ask her which is worse, a flat tire or a flat ass? And I would like to hear a response.
I didn't ask her that question.
You should. I'm going to ask you that on the boat. Be like, Faith, which would you rather have, a flat tire or flat ass, aka nasty?
AKA, she already know the statement of that, right? Like, she is built like me. She has an ass. And yeah, like, no problem. I'd rather have that. She does not. There was at one point, and I always, again, good convo for young ladies. And when you're training for things, no, it is, because they get this perception of what a female looks like, feels like, acts like, right? Like, I talk about that in the gym perspective, but like, hey, listen, if we're doing cheer and we got to be explosive and powerful, and you got to be a base or a back spot and hold chicks up there, like, we got to handle weight at intensity levels. And with that, you're going to grow. Like, your muscles are going to change. You're going to be a little heavier. The weight is not an issue. It's just a number. The numbers that we need in the weight room to allow you to do your skill set, you chose that sport, are more important than maybe some aesthetics, right? So, but like, there's that fine line where, like, man, Dad, like, this is just, I look better this way. I'm like, okay, you look better this way, but can you, like, throw up a 110-pound chick and just hold her there for days? So, like, I got it. Maybe a little less volume in certain areas, but I had to establish a foundation, Faith. So, but she's asked those questions. So I talk about it, and then we go from there. And I even bring her in on to, what do you like in the weight room? And then here are your weaknesses. So you can pick whatever it is that you like. I'm picking the weaknesses. And so then we compromise, and then boom, here's your program.
I love it. That's tremendous, Schlegs. It's good stuff. I mean, what do you want girls' conversations to be like? You want to turn them into dudes' conversations, is basically what you're telling us, which is tremendous.
And they are. It's so crazy. Like, there's a girl on our Fury team. Her last name is Cox. And all the girls are giggling. And I'm always all the time, no giggling. Yeah, say that stuff with a straight face. Like, let's go, Cox. Let's go. I mean, what are we talking about? And they're just over there giggling, I love it. They're just like us, but they're just females. They're alpha females and alpha dudes. Like, it's the same thing.
That's
alpha
good.
Alpha females, all the same.
Well, we've got the ultimate alpha dude coming up next. A legend. An EA Sports legend. He's been waiting. That's why we had him on the second segment this week, because we wanted to make sure that he was going to be ready to go, be locked in, and Schlegs would be able to summon him with the hot call when necessary. Aaron James Hockle is joining the program next. I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool and doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer. You got him. He's been in the back. Just like summon him. Call it. What are you doing?
It's right there. It's on
there
the
it is.
Doomajig,
That's
man.
the
It's on the
screech.
YouTube machine.
That's the
There he
screech.
is.
All right, Age. Before we get, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
More.
Before we get into any of
What
the
shirt
Buckeye
are you wearing
Cruise
right now,
talk,
AJ?
hey,
You're
turn
wearing a
off,
black
Josh,
shirt.
the bird.
Yep. Amazon special, Schlegs. Amazon
Oh my
special,
God.
like $8. Yeah.
My God.
Good. I love it. I'm sure you're listening to some of that conversation there, Age, with Schlegs and just how he's mind warping his daughter into turning into a meatball like him. And
Side nugget, though, this is what's great. So she has a boyfriend, and I've been dating Stephanie since I was 16 years old.
Yep.
And I was like, listen, and her boyfriend is a very, very good pitcher. It can be a D1 pitcher. And
better that than a catcher, Schlegs.
yeah. And anyway, so he gets in this game. I was like, but when he was going in, I texted Steph to tell her this. I'm like, listen, all dudes will notice. I was like, you can't be on your phone. You got to be paying attention, because I guarantee you the first thing he's going to say in the car is, hey, I saw you watching, right? Like, it's an appreciation thing. So my girl was dialed in, and they had a great combo. And I was like, ask him about his pitches. Ask him about how he's like trying to set batters up. And I'm like, giving her the nuggets. And I kid you not, like, that was a conversation I'm listening to. I'm like, dude, what? Yes, she heard it. And she was like, you're so right. I'm like, I know, because I looked at your mom when she was in the stands and I was wrestling, and like I would like double leg a dude, and I would pick him up and like walk around. I would see her, and then I would slam him. You know, I was like, that was kind of like, boom, you know, you got the alpha male in the building stuff. Know that. Just saying.
What do you want AJ to say to that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I agree, Schlegs. It's good. What if her boyfriend's like, hey, my whole life is baseball. I live and breathe baseball. Like, when I'm with you, I just like to, can we just hang out and maybe not talk about baseball? Like, what does she say to that?
You know what's interesting is Faith can go down any conversation, but it was because, and I think all of our kids have privy to this, because we take them around other adults a lot. So she might ask questions about it, but then she can like move on, right? It's like not the end all be all of the conversation or the relationship. And then even myself, we got him playing poker. Like, we taught him to play poker. So like he comes over with the fam, and like they're all playing poker, or they're playing cards, or they're doing stuff, you know, with us, right? Like, not just, you know, go watch TV, right? It's like you want that interaction.
Rolling dice, smoking cigs, drinking. Yeah, like you got to get them
Miles,
involved, right? Yeah.
Mikey Miles. You know, if he decides to go down that road, you're obviously going to lead him to the things that are really good, you know?
Oh, yeah. I get
Copenhagen stuff, ons, caffeine pouches, whatever.
Caffeine pouches.
Those LFGOs, let's effing goes. Those things got 200 milligrams of caffeine. And Hunter got them for me. He's like, hey, Dad, guess what? They're $9, but they're 18 in a can. He's like, that's 18 monsters, and I'm saving you money. He's like, for the price of 3 monsters, you get 18. That was my Christmas present for my son.
You know what he's going to bring you back next, Schlegs, is a couple crack rocks. He's going to say, listen, Dad, these are way cheaper than buying the meth. Just smoke a little bit of this crack rock. It'll give you energy for 2 days. You won't even have to sleep. No, not even any food. Your teeth will fall out, and don't worry about that. But
don't worry about it. They don't get ripped. He's like, Dad, you want to be chiseled? You want to lose those love handles and those back dimples that Bobby always makes fun of you about? Hey, guess what? Smoke these things. Smoke this guy.
Oh, geez. All right, Pat, throw this up here. We got to show our guy AJ.
Let's talk about this.
This is big. EA Sports college football legend AJ Hawk. Speed 94, acceleration 93, tackling 96, strength AJ 89. I'm going to be honest. I can't believe the speed rating was higher than the strength rating.
Yeah, that's a bit. That is. I haven't really taken much of a look at that. Yeah, the 89 speed. What's PMV right there at 85? What is that?
Oh, that's power move. So you're a finesse guy. Your finesse move's 92, power move 85. I mean,
I don't know exactly who's doing the ratings or the numbering here. But yeah, hey, I guess here we go. I don't even know what system you'd play that for. What game? What is it? What game is this? The new EA college game that's coming back? Is that correct?
It's already been back, I think.
It's already been back. I love you, man. You're like you're wearing Amazon shirts. You got Walmart pants. You got a legend card by EA Sports. Didn't even know it came out yet. It's been out. It's been out for the entire year. People are playing with it. They can now play with AJ Hawk. But really the question is, like, how do you feel when these younger kids these days, first off, how they all accumulated to a 98, I don't know. But when they look at AJ Hawk and they just think speed over strength. Fast, dude, both of you guys were abnormally fast for your size. And again, everybody, we all went to the combine above 250. Okay, bumpy. So we ran super fast, but like, what is that? Like, how does that make you feel? All those years in the gym, the thick neck rolls, everything about strength and power, and then you're in the 80s.
Yeah, the power move. I mean, I would say I wasn't exactly a finesse guy. Whatever they think, I don't know. It's like when they pop up. You watch Sunday Night Football and they show like, oh, this. I feel bad for some dudes when they give them like ratings, and that's basically how everyone views them as a player. They'll show like offensive linemen. Oh, he's ranked 112th out of 180 offensive guards in the league. Like, man, this guy sucks. I'm like, how do we don't really know. Who knows who a good offensive lineman is? I mean, even other offensive linemen don't really know at times who the best linemen are. So yeah, that's good. I'll take it, man. I don't know. I don't have a system for my kids to play this on, but yeah, maybe they'll find a way at some point.
So you guys don't have any systems in the house?
No, so the wrestling game came out last year, and we went and Pat and them we were lucky enough, myself, Connor, I believe Diggs, Ty, and we had different guys from the show that they like scanned our face and did all this stuff, and they made wrestling. We're wrestling characters in the wrestling game. So my kids were trying to play that, but we don't have a system. That was 8 months ago or 9 months ago. We still haven't figured it out. I haven't got a system for them.
We're not big video game guys, but finally, I'll give my man Cullen credit. He had saved up his own money and bought his friend's PS4 when they got a PS5 out for like $60. And so they were using that. And then this year for Christmas, they were kind of lobbying. I said, all right, we've held off. I mean, I've got a freshman son, 8th grade daughter, and my 5th grade son. Finally, like, it might be time. But dude, those guys go down in the basement and they just get locked in and they're playing, I don't know, whatever the heck all those damn games are.
Tiger Woods golf.
I don't think they're playing Tiger Woods golf. They play all the little war games and everything else. But I can't believe that there's no system. Has Hendricks not like lobbied to try to get one of those for Christmas or his birthday?
No, he's definitely lobbied. He was just telling me the other day how one of his friends has like the greatest room. He's like, oh, his room's so awesome. He's got LED lights. He's got a PlayStation. He just goes and hangs out up in there. Yeah, I'm like, hey, you got a lava lamp, bud. Like, we found a lava lamp, got him that. That thing's the coolest thing ever. So no, we don't have any like official systems right now. My young kids, they can get on every once in a while, let them do Roblox on their iPads and all that kind of stuff, but no real gaming system. I'm sure they're already way too far behind. Like, if they try to jump on and play against somebody that's been playing for a few years, like, they're screwed. Basically what happened to me when I stopped playing any gaming systems, when I played Halo with Nick Mangold and Johnny, my roommates, and I got killed every 3 seconds. So that was the end of my gaming, really, because I realized everybody had surpassed me. I didn't put in the time needed, I guess, to be good.
Hey, go. Hey, listen, I love that. I hate electronics. Anyway,
I like electronics. I'm not against electronics. I just try to tell, this is the world that they're growing up in. So I just try to tell, like, my daughter has a phone. Like, hey, let's make this a good thing. Let's not make this a negative thing where we have to like ban it from you and take it from you every other day. And luckily she's been very responsible with it. But yeah, it's a different world, man. I guess we just got to figure it out and got to navigate for them.
But you gave it to her when she was older, right? Like, she didn't have what age?
Middle of 7th grade, she got it. Middle of 7th, when all of her friends had already kind of had it. But there's no people love to grandstand too. Oh, my kid hasn't looked at electronics. They're 22 years old. I haven't let them look at a phone yet, and they haven't had an ounce of sugar. I'm like, congrats, you're the greatest parent ever, bud. Like,
what was that guy?
We don't try to do that at all either.
Who was that guy? Remember that thing? It was a Raiders quarterback, and he never ate like a
Todd Marinovich.
Yeah. Don't be that, right? There's extremes to everything. I want to go to this extreme.
Okay.
So we're watching a Legends picture.
Yeah.
And people don't realize this. Like, back then you had East Bay and you had like Foot Locker.
Yeah.
And we went in and bought our own swag, because now they just go up and pick it like the NFL in college. They can pick up whatever swag they want. And there's certain things that you have to have. And we had the all black shoes. We actually had the first Vapors when they came out. Remember those things that had the big white toe on them? Anyways, let's talk about this black Under Armour Centerville Elk Pride shirt that you were like grandstanding against, that you like, I had to wear this. Like,
under my jersey, you mean?
Yeah.
The black.
Yeah, that's just how I was comfortable. I liked it. It's mainly because how your jerseys are getting so tight and they rub on your armpits and everything. Like, I like to have the little bit of a sleeve coming out. That's what I wore all through high school. So yeah, I got to college and they tried to take that away from me. Didn't want me wearing that, and I made sure to to keep that thing in my bag, in my mesh bag. I got that washed with all the rest of my clothes that I ever wore as well at the same time. Just throw my regular clothes in there with the football stuff, and it always worked out. But yeah, that was a little different too, though. So like we had stuff wasn't as abundant. I remember the gloves I really liked. I bought multiple sets of gloves at Dick's that I wore in college because I liked how they fit in the different style that they had. I remember being like, okay, I got 2 pairs left. I got to make this pair last for 2 more games. So then I can wear it. And I definitely wasn't going to practice it. I was practicing all my team issued stuff, but for games, I would have a couple of my own things I liked that I felt like they were good for me. They were still Nike though. I wasn't trying to like go outside but I do remember, I'm sure you guys remember every once in a while trying to go out to warm-ups with Luke.
Oh yeah.
Go out to warm-ups with Luke Fickle. No spat on. Luke's going to leave the locker room to head up to the press box after warm-up. So we'd sit there. All right, cool. Or he tells us our last couple of things in the locker room, and then boom, I put a spat on my cleats real quick before we go out, and then hopefully win the game. And then afterwards, he's in a good mood. Like, don't think I didn't see that spat. I know you put that on in the locker room after I left. Like, then we knew you really got to play extra hard to win that game if you're doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, you remember when D'Antonio would catch guys like before the game, like out in warmups and send them upstairs?
Oh yeah.
It's like, because you were redshirted that year. I mean, we had dudes that would try to do some things and try to spat. He would lose his damn mind.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible. Like I was terrified to have, you talking joke in the NFL age, you get the uniform violations, you get fined. Like all they need, if the NFL wants everybody to look uniform, you just get Mark D'Antonio to like march the sidelines down there. I mean, he'll take scissors and cut shit off of guys. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not scared. Dino got me one time. I know for people that don't know, spatting is just taping your cleats over top of your laces and stuff. It feels good and looks good. I never did it really tight. I was more for like, it felt like it kind of compacted my cleats and felt good and didn't. I couldn't believe when dudes had like floppy laces in their playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, my cleat's going to catch that. I'm going to fall down in the most random time. I always felt like that would be the case. But one time in practice, I may have told you guys on here, I was young. I'm going to tape or tie my cleats before practice, and boom, my laces ripped. I didn't have time to go put new laces in. So I just put one strip of white tape around my laces to hold my shoe on. And before I got 6 steps onto the practice field, Dino set me off the field and said I was an individual and I was trying to stand out. And I tried to explain myself for like a half a second. And before I even finished like the 3rd word, he's like, get out of here. Go get that fixed, or go get new cleats on or something. So yeah, I never really got to explain to him. No, I was just, Coach, I was trying to actually get to practice on time and not be late when my laces ripped right away.
Yes. Different times, man.
I respect it. Hey, I respect it. I get there's a standard. I understand, and I'm all for it. I get it. I understood even in the moment. I think, yeah, okay, well, yeah. I can't be out here or a solo soldier, as Mike McCarthy used to say.
Oh, that was Mike's term, the solo soldier. I like that.
Solo soldier. Yeah, I learned that real early on with Mike McCarthy. I'm like, that's a good one. It was the first time I had heard it when I got to Green Bay.
What are your kids? What are you guys now? So you're coaching basketball, and when you were coaching basketball, what was your emphasis? Were you like the defense box out guy? Like, were you just, the chief encouraging officer? Like, what were you on the basketball team? And then what are your kids doing now?
Yeah, I guess in all coaching, I try to be like a positive influence. Definitely. Sometimes I think you're always hardest on your own kids. Like I never really would get after like other kids too much. I would always try. That's definitely more of like encouragement. Hey, we're pump you up, confidence booster. You might be hard on your own kids, no question. Yeah. But I'm all like energy, effort, dude. Like, especially basketball. I would tell people like all the time, you don't have to be good at all, but you can find a role on any basketball team. If you play hard, you box out, you get those rebounds, you do the dirty work, and you can just handle the ball a little bit. Like, just you make yourself valuable. And that's all I care about. Like, hey, if there's a loose ball, we just got done my 1st and 3rd grader, we just played our last game this weekend, and I told the kids, like, going out, like the first 5 dudes, I'm like, hey, every loose ball, I want to see 5 of you diving on the ground. Let's set the tone early that we're going to get every single loose ball, every single rebound. And luckily we won the game in overtime, actually. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to coach little kids, man. You understand though, you try to view it from my 41-year-old brain when they're looking at it from their, 7, 8, 9-year-old brains. We don't always view things the exact same way. So you got to explain it sometimes why you're doing things.
Absolutely. Before we get you out of your age, we've got the Buckeye Cruise coming up. I know you've been on, think all but one, kind of similar to me. This is, I think, the 18th year, so 17 of these bad boys. We don't get the privilege of the lovely Miss Laura this year, but we do get Ryan Hawk. I mean, the expectations for this, what do we got coming up?
Yeah, Ryan, my brother, will be joining me. This might be his third or fourth cruise. He's gone on like sporadically over time when Laura can't come. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, you guys know, like, we don't get to hang out as much as we all have family and kids and things going on, and I don't get to see my brother as much. So it's cool for him to come on there and we'll just roam around the boat and, do fun things and try to figure it out. And once we get off the boat, we always find a way to get to some cool excursions or whatever. Ryan's a big, like, experienced guy and wants to go do things and have fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think Ryan knows majority of cruisers now too, just from coming on the boat a few times and coming to our event we have every single year. So he knows the majority of the people. And I think he's developed plenty of relationships with people on the boat.
So Ryan's a big believer in he'll try anything once. Is he going to get you on that same methodology on the cruise, Age?
I don't know if Ryan's a try everything once guy. I really don't. I think he's definitely wants to go experience things. Like if he's going somewhere, he's going to go, hike a mountain, do whatever. But I think there's definitely plenty of times I've tried to get him to do things and he said, absolutely not. That's not going to happen. So he's not, maybe he won't try everything once.
Give us one of your favorite memories from the Buckeye Cruise over the 17 years that we've been doing this thing.
Man, there's a lot of them. Every year kind of runs together, but Bob knows myself, Ryan, my brother, and Bob, we got off the boat. I don't know how many years ago when we went to Jamaica, and we went to we kind of stumbled upon it and found this guy who decided we found out, actually, we thought he'd just given us a ride and dropping us off somewhere. No, he was our driver the whole day and stuck with us. And he was the man. He took us up and we went and did the waterfalls deal where you walk through the jungle and you jump off the waterfalls, and it's awesome. It was really cool. And then all of a sudden our driver guy took us to this like local place and we got this unbelievable meal of the jerk chicken, rice and beans, that's like my ideal meal. So it was like chicken. I know Bob remembers that was like one of the best days I remember from the cruise.
Well, and on top of that, I was worried that we were either going to get A, robbed or B, murdered. And neither of those things happened, and everything else was great around it. So it all worked out, Age. It was a tremendous day. I was Ocho Rios in Jamaica, and that was actually Caleb is 8, so that was 8 years ago. And that was when they had the Zika virus running around, so she couldn't get off the boat. That's why it was just us going together. So yeah, 8 years ago, man. Long time, dude. Well, you got McAfee coming up here, man. We appreciate you taking some time with us and switching up days. So, man, have a good one, and we'll see you here on Thursday on the boat.
All right. See you guys in a few days, man.
There he is, our guy.
Look at him, man. Look at him. I'm so – you guys are getting me juicy about this cruise, man. I got a lot of stuff I got to button up because of the Arnold, but, I can't wait to hang out with you guys. And I think sometimes people don't realize, this is why Ohio State football is so special. They've tried to replicate the Buckeye Cruise. You can't do it. Lisa Cisco, Chris Quinn, travel partners, the Buckeye Cruise family that they've created for 18 years to sell out an entire cruise ship, to go raise over $40 million for the James Cancer Hospital, also partnering with Ryan and Nina Day for, mental health awareness. Now we can have current guys on, but we do this because of the players, like the camaraderie, the brotherhood. And the brotherhood is not just the guys that you played with. It's all of them for multi-generations. We're going to celebrate Archie's 50th year for his Heisman. That's going to be on the ship. Trust has been going on. He's a lieutenant governor. Ryan and his family will be on. But it's just this opportunity of younger and older Buckeyes, current Buckeyes, to get together and be like, yeah, this is how we give back. This is what we do. And then guess what? Most of the time they all come back and they live here. It's just something that's special, and you can't replicate it across the country.
And we're celebrating your 44th birthday, March 1st. Excited, Schlegs. This Saturday, your Rob Reynolds' birthday. Can't wait to get the choker. It's going to be exciting. Well, we got that coming up. Before we keep going, I want to tell you about our friends over at Export Parents and Athletes. Protect what matters most with Export mouth guards, trusted by professional athletes, worn and developed by NHL team dentists. Export mouth guards are scientifically tested to absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. Export mouth guards feature 3 layers, I always tell you, of advanced protection, including the patented use of carbon fiber. They 3D print that bad boy to your own smile. That means more protection, better performance, max comfort, clear communication. so you can focus on your game, not on your gear. Don't take chances with your safety. Tiki Barber doesn't. He's the official spokesman. exportguards.com/Bobby today and save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next. I stumbled on this. They were showing a lot of these old pictures. I said, can you guess this stadium? And you start looking at some of these stadiums, trying to figure out exactly, what it is. And I love looking at like old pictures and old things. And as soon as I saw this one, it was iconic. I knew what it was. There were some other ones that I didn't know, but like stripped down to like what it was. And what's crazy is you look around campus. Yeah, which FBS school is this? Stadium, 1930s, the house that Harley built. And so you think about what campus looks like now, Schlegs. And like you look over there, and the towers would be there on that southwest side. Over on the northeast, where all those courts are and everything, that's where Larkins is, the Natatorium, RPAC, all of that stuff is over there. The business school is now on like the northeast side of it. There's another deck around it, like there's a new, obviously south end zone, like, and just all the differences. But to take like a snapshot in history and be able to look at this, I always love, because this is sitting here right smack dab in the middle of Columbus, and the power plant, which is still right there, that's still going, still kicking it right up the street. But it's just amazing to see how the shoe has changed and continued to grow and expand and modernize while keeping its traditional structure and the Roman columns and everything else. And then also how the city and the university have grown around it, and how that is kind of the epicenter now of what we're looking at.
Yeah, really cool, man. And like you can see University Hall. I had a class there. It's probably one of the only ones I go to, because I used to park behind a dumpster over there off the side of the road when I had to go to that class. I don't remember what was in there, but it was a big one. But it just how things have changed. The oval, you can see the oval in the top right corner. But yeah, it's cool to see what it is, because I think sometimes in Columbus, Ohio, you take it for granted of that place. And it is enormous when you like walk up to it, but just how beautiful it is as they've expanded upon it by still keeping it in the true form. And you can see now some of that, like that exposed stuff is also on the inside of where they did some of the suite boxes, Bob, that we've been to. And it's like, that's just really cool. Like the stadium is still intact, but they just built around it and modernized it for today's game. And it's a great environment, great place to play football. Humbled that we were all able to be Buckeyes and play in there.
Yeah, it was a pretty remarkable place, and very, very honored and humbled to be a part of it and get a chance to play in their Schlegs. There's something else. I want to finish up with this before we get to our headlines. A little positive information. I like to be a purveyor of the positive, if you will. And being in Columbus here, being in the state of Ohio, Johnny Gaudreau, Columbus Blue Jacket, lost his life. Him and his brother just tragically while they're at their sister's wedding this offseason. And he's got a little boy, man, and it's crazy. And his son turned 1 on Saturday. And the great Blue Jacket fans and the folks here in Columbus, Ohio, did an unbelievable job honoring him in a way that I don't know how they kept this thing together, especially the guy on the PA, because my goodness, it was a cool but very emotional experience.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Oh,
yeah, it's good, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, Johnny Gaudreau Jr. Turned 1 year old. Happy birthday to him, and a great job by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the city of Columbus getting that done. All right,
yep.
We're pinning that. Schlegs, we got our headlines coming up next.
Welcome to Big Play, the fastest growing sports media company in America.
I'm gonna keep it straight with you. The reason you should watch our show is because I look good, baby.
Come get some!
Join our millions of fans for live sports talk shows hosted by the top former athletes and sports personalities in the industry.
Ohio, it's my home state.
Obviously, I'm a diehard Cleveland sports fan.
Watch what you want, where you want, when you want. Welcome to Big Play.
Make sure you tune in.
I love you, Cleveland.
All right, Sykes, you and I both, we got a chance to play at Ohio State and very lucky and, won some awards there and some things. And it's a very storied program and it's unbelievable to be a part of it. And, if you get your picture on the wall in any form or fashion, whether it's conference championship, national championship, All-American, all Big Ten, like they have pictures and trophies everywhere throughout the building. And it's such a special place. I remember walking through there as a high school kid, like, man, if you just imagine like what your picture looks like up there on the wall and see it and how impactful that's going to be. And Ohio State has only had in the college football or the CFP, so basically the last, I don't know, whatever that is, since 14, the last
Started 14, yeah.
So it's the last 10 years, and there's been more. They've had 3 true sophomores have been named unanimous All-Americans, which to be unanimous All-American, I believe there's 5 major publication slugs. To be a consensus, you have to be for 3 of the 5. Unanimous implies unanimity, which is all 5. Joey Bosa, Marvin Harrison, and now Caleb Downs. Pretty damn impressive for the sophomore, and I'm sure he'll have another one coming his way and maybe a Thorpe in his future as well.
Yeah, and I just look at this picture, just look at the size of his arms,
They did measurements today too, by the way.
Dude, I mean, like, did they do them today?
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. Everything. Hey, just guess what, guys? They compete at arm measurements. So how that works, just any given day, me versus Bob on that day, right? It might be me versus AJ on the next day. It doesn't matter. Like, it kind of rotates, but it's like, who has the bigger arms? Boom. And like guys will be over there just doing some extra. Who cares? It's not programmed. Nobody cares, but it's competitive. It's like go and they're just like flexing and Higgs is over there. And it's just like, did you grow? Like, are you a grower? Are you sure? Or are you both?
Yeah.
And boom, I would have loved to have seen that. But like, look at the size of his arm. And honestly, here's the testament. I love this picture. Guys, Caleb Downs also going on the Buckeye Cruise, Bob. So that'd be fantastic to sit down and talk with him. He's a pro's pro, and he's, 19, 20 years old. And that's awesome, right? Like, that's how you like those guys.
I feel like I'm talking to a guy in my 5th or 6th year playing in the NFL. Like when I talk to Caleb in there, and it's refreshing because he, like, his maturity, how he looks at things, like he's a fun dude. He's funny, but he's pretty serious, but he gets it, man. He gets it and he understands it.
He's like, I'm going to say this on this team, like when guys are looking to transfer, the value proposition of Ohio State is that they're going to teach you how to be a pro and develop you to be a pro. But then when you also have guys that are older that are pros already in the building, and he comes into a room, a unit room, and then there's Lathan, Coach G, and then you got Lathan there, who is a consummate pro that has handled a tremendous amount of adversity, gone a completely different path and trajectory that Caleb did, but like is all ball all the time. And you guys get to hear Lathan come on here every Monday. Like, that's even refreshing for him because he has somebody that he can compete against. He has somebody that he can work out with. Like, that's why us 3 always worked out together. We love that. We were making each other better. And then like Cody is a guy like that, like a very serious guy who's also kind of funny, but like was under, Tommy, who's like dry, like, yeah, like that's like, he speaks like all of like 3 words. Yeah. So he could probably be multilingual, Tommy, because he only says 3 things, right? Just learn all the languages. But like this guy right here is everything that epitomizes what it means to be a pro in college and in the NFL. And like, that's why he is so successful. Yeah. Yes, does he have some innate abilities? 100%. But he himself puts himself in those positions because of how he takes care of his body and how he studies film. And like, though we joked, right? Lathan joked that he had 3 drop picks. We said 1. Lathan said, no, he should have had 3. And like, he can razzle that. But the reason he was able to be in the position was because of his film study and his film prep. So anyways, awesome. Good for him.
Buckeyes. All right, Schleeks. I got a little nugget. We got our tailgate talk brought to you by our friends at Real Truck coming up next. I got a little clip from a coach who's not a great guy, but he is a great coach. And it's one of the great halftime speeches that you're going to hear. We got that for you coming up next.
We know trucks. We live trucks. We love trucks. For everyone who owns one and everyone who should, we're the leading truck accessory brand in the U.S. with top-selling upgrades for your truck with guaranteed fit, free shipping, easy install, expert support, and thousands of dealers just a click away. Get the most out of work, life, and all your outdoor adventures. Bring your truck to life. Real Truck.
All right, we got some tailgate talk brought to you by our friends at Real Truck. Go to realtruck.com. Bring your truck, Jeep, or Bronco to life. Schlegs and I have done it. They've got the accessories that you need. Everything. The number one place to accessorize your truck, Jeep, or Bronco. All online. You put it in the search box. Tell them what type of vehicle you have, year, make, model. Boom. They simplify it for you. They get it down for the interior, the exterior. They boil it down and you just order it, boom, 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 comes right to your door. If you spend $100, Schlegs, you get free shipping with it because that's the type of folks they are over at Real Truck. So listen, they're one of our great partners. They're phenomenal. I love the guys. Go to realtruck.com. All right.
Hey, Bob, listen real quick. Last night, I had a manhandle, a 400-pound, probably weighs more than that. It goes up to 260, but then you have the frame. I manhandled this with my buddy Jeff Miller into the back. It was a leg extension machine that I was bringing over to the Armory for the sports performance side. And I got my bed slide, which was awesome because I could roll that thing out and then like just get it up there as opposed to like getting it on. It was perfect, man. I slid it in there and I got one of those rollback tonneau covers.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this thing is easy, man. And I got the whole bed now as opposed to the ones that roll into the thing. It rolls all the way back. So I got the whole bed space. I was like, this is why I go to Real Truck right here. Buckeyes.
They've got all the gear. They got all the accessories. I got a bed cover for mine. I got the same one for my dad. They love it. They're tremendous. Winch, bumpers, Jeep. I got all kinds of things. I got some more stuff I want to get to, Schlegs. I'm going to throw this up here. Rick Pitino, guy's old, not a great dude. He's had a lot of problems. It's all documented, but the guy can coach hoops. And for a guy who's in his 70s, mid-70s, to be able to still connect with young college players, Schlegs, and coach them like this, it's pretty darn amazing.
Be a basketball player. Dig in. Every time you miss a shot, your game deflates. We don't care about your missed shots. Play defense. You guys keep blowing opportunity upon opportunity upon opportunity. You're like children with bad things happening. Instead of digging in and be tougher, you wilt. Where is your toughness? Where have you guys been raised that you're so weak mentally that you just give up when something doesn't go right for you? Don't you know what adversity is all about? That's the game of life, not the game of basketball. You don't get down when things go wrong. You dig in and get tougher. Your whole life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal with it.
You know what we're talking about? So true. True.
When he said, where have you guys been raised? And I think that's something that we've talked about here, Schlegs. And you fight it with your own kids and you try to make sure that they have everything that they need. But also when you're raising them, like, and leaning in, whether it's all kids, whether kids you're coaching, your players, whatever it might be, like, you got to be able to dig in and do tough stuff, be able to dig in and do hard stuff. And like, where have you been raised? Like, that's not the game of basketball. It's not football. It's not baseball. I don't care the sport. It's life. That's what it's supposed to teach. And it was awesome. Like, I saw that. I'm like, man, Rick Pitino, not a great dude. I'm like, but he's spot on with this. And I think they came back and won that game, by the way.
I think sometimes here's the thing. We kind of are living where we want to give our kids all the things that we didn't have, but like why? Hugs. You know,
Muffies
and what are, like, I mean, and I'm not saying that it has to be the end all be all. Like, no, we got to make it tougher on them and we got to do certain things. But I've always been under this, right? Like, too much is given, much is required, and I'm going to make sure that my kids have. I always say, like, you got your your wants and your needs. And I'm always going to make sure that I take care of your needs, period, dot. But the wants, right? Like, hey, you need a new bat for this season? Well, I got to see your dedication to your craft. And guess what? You go do that. Like I see that you're putting in the work, and we talk about it. We talk about what the work is. I explain everything. I'm very intentional in everything that I say to my children, but I see that you put in the work in. Guess what? I got you. Or, hey, guess what? If you want a little bit of disposable income, your job is to go to school and play sports. And that's not for everybody, guys. Like, I'm not saying this. Like, I'm in a different position in my life than I was when I was growing up because I had jobs. And I'm not saying that I want them to go have those, but I know what I can do, and I know that I want them to have to work for things. So if you do need some side hustle money, then guess what? Hey, Hunter, you want that? Guess what? Give me some nuggets for the show. I'll pay you hourly for the work that you put in. Faith, hey, guess what? You want some side hustle money? Boom, I need you to train your younger brother. Or guess what? I don't want to get somebody to clean our house. I see what your mom's doing, taking you all over the place. How about you clean our house? I'll pay you. Oh, side nugget, everybody can help. Put all your dishes away because your mom made the food, right? Oh, side nugget, how about you just pick up your things, right? Or, hey, like all those things are intentional. When you have, like, my son now is batting leadoff. He does not like to bat leadoff. He likes to bat fifth. We talk about it. I'm like, listen, here's what it is. You make contact with everything. You put the ball in play. They need somebody to get somebody going. It's not about what you like. It's about what the team needs. So you mentally have to overcome that. You got to figure out a way to say, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to time up this guy. You're not playing in the field right now. So boom, go watch that guy. Look across at how he's going. Be fanatical about your craft. Get some timing before you go out there. Talk ball all the time. Add value. Like that. Guys, we have to continue to build up the younger generation to not think of themselves. And that kind of goes back to what he was saying, where were you raised? It's not all about me. And basketball has become very much that. Our sports have, with the NIL and the recruiting, like people that go help try to get you stuff. I've heard some crazy stories about that, Bob. And it's all about itself and not about the development through it and the team. And there is a balance, yes, but we got to have these type of conversations with young people and be real and authentic. And Rick Pitino right there in that moment, that was as real and as authentic as you can get. But it was collectively those dudes coming together saying, you know what, we're not going to wilt. Yep. That's a step, guys. That's this is your accumulation of great days. They stacked a half right there and got emotionally and mentally tougher in that moment and won that game. Right?
Okay. So parting thoughts,
Sorry.
30 seconds coming up.
We know trucks. We live trucks. We love trucks. For everyone who owns one and everyone who should, we're the leading truck accessory brand in the U.S. with top-selling upgrades for your truck with guaranteed fit, free shipping, easy install, expert support, and thousands of dealers just a click away. Get the most out of work, life, and all your outdoor adventures. Bring your truck to life. Real Truck.
All right, Schlegs, 30 seconds. You're on the clock. Go.
Bro, 30 seconds, super easy. Guess what, guys? Hey, I saw this on the deal. Breaking news. Marriage not as good as watching Predator, say most men. And honestly, let's think about this. Like, I'm a young dude growing up. Everybody's jacked. You got Jesse Ventura, Carl Withers, R.I.P. You got Mac with the machine. Mac didn't have a machine gun. He shaved his head. You had Billy cutting X's in his chest, and then the Predator just killed him right there. I don't know why. He just sacrificially gave himself up like that. But then Schwarzenegger, it's the Arnold. Dutch is over there, and that's when you had that great class. Boom. Like, no racial tension between us. Black and white, super swole, and he killed the Predator.
Carl Weathers.
Arnold Weekend. Arnold
Carl
Weekend.
Weathers.
Here we go.
R.I.P. Love him, dude. All right, Schlegs, that's it for the show today. Back tomorrow. Bill Bender on the Bobby Carpenter Show.